Yeah, they're up there.
Oh, they have to.
Yeah.
Is your the display for time?
Usually just wave my arm.
Do I need to
No, I
shut the
mean
door
your-
or no?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
I mean, not shut the door, I mean,
No, it'll.
we're ready.
Pop up on TV when she's ready.
She's not here, she's over at the other guy's here. I can run up.
Either one.
There used to be a little star that says which ones we had to do.
We had to, yeah.
Are any
I'm wondering if it's probably the NOIs.
notice
I would say
NOS,
fine.
NOA?
Because
Little
then
while ago,
I'm
in the
assuming we
garden.
train.
NOI?
Yeah,
those are
big
the only
the
ones
ones
that
that
come
put
up.
public
main
notice
drag
for, right?
yeah.
The rest we
Woodside
can
Road.
Right.
continue in
Do you
NOI,
know-
which we continued, so
Yeah,
technically.
yeah.
we have to
on that.
Right.
Well, off of Vaughan Hill Road,
Off of
Burnham,
Long Hill Road,
Spectacle,
okay.
Berlin.
Not at the Moen
Can
entrance,
go
but
not
at
the
the,
Vaughan
and
the
entrance,
then-
Woodside
but
entrance?
Woodside, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Then Powder Hill, North,
That trail
those
that
can
heads
get
up
moved up
towards
if
the,
we sub it,
the pond.
the
Okay.
8:30,
It's just
cause
because
that's
it's along
the
there.
470.
I don't remember exactly where,
Yeah.
that's what I meant by the main drag, that's like the
I know.
main trail
I know, I
going,
saw that, I was like, oh, good, things are right down, so I was like, oh, good.
one of these maps.
Yeah, hey, look, it's what we have, right,
It's
until
what we have,
somebody
yeah.
takes the initiative and updates them.
Yeah. It's somewhere in here. It's,
Okay.
yeah, it's kind
It happens.
of slowed to more,
Okay, so
Somewhere
we're
here.
expecting
yeah,
most of,
yeah, I don't
most
know
of these
exactly.
things.
We could
Okay.
probably just issue the certificate.
We
It'll take a
definitely can.
chainsaw.
Like a chainsaw.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we could approve
That's-
the minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but we
Of
should
that
wait for
order,
the decide.
maybe.
Yeah.
They like to.
I know, I'm
Maybe
just
not
saying.
quite that
Yeah,
far,
oh, no,
but
we
we
can
could
put it
up
up
there.
there,
I mean,
thanks, we'll
it's,
fly through
you wouldn't
stuff.
wanna move it.
Okay, I just bought
We're gonna
Moen
look
tax
here until
law.
7:30.
When you open
There's
it,
no
it
parking here, which
closed,
is
it's like
annoying.
this big when you
I
open
know,
it.
There,
I'm-
but I
I'm
can't
pretty
see it.
long.
Oh, really?
And
Yeah.
I might
No,
not be
that's
working,
been
it's not
like-
even working
it's not
yet,
working.
my bad.
Yeah.
No.
It's like a silky
It was-
soft, never really
Yeah.
fast, so I'm
I
hoping
came at quarter after
unless
6 and that was like that.
there's multiples, so it's really big. Just be
No,
able
it's
to-
not crazy big,
I'll
and
just be able
it's
to walk in there
kinda,
with the pack saw
We
and
could
cut
put
it.
it up there.
it's
above
also,
the
this is a
painting
old
picture.
dead wood, it's
Okay.
not,
Yeah.
it's
No,
not
it
like
makes
a
sense.
vibrant young tree.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
So,
Really
yeah,
big
yeah,
pack
it
saw.
would probably be
Cool.
doable by hand.
But
I
I'm-
saw it by hand,
Okay.
not dragging
I
it.
scanned these
I think they have us.
No.
So, yeah,
These are the original hard copies.
we're gonna go ahead and call to order the October 20th, 2015 meeting of the Bolton Conservation Commission. And as always, we'll start with a roll call. I'm Brian Barrowby.
Liz Clues.
Jeff Lawrence.
Karen Overfield.
Michelle Grenier, Conservation Administrator.
Okay. First up, we have a certificate of compliance for 22 Burnham Road. And for test septic system, so, Michelle, you went out there, you said everything looks fine?
Yes, so the grass is all grown back and the as-built plan is exactly as it was built.
All right, so then I would like to make a motion that we issue the certificate of compliance for 22 Burnham Road.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
So pass. We have it to sign.
Yes, do you want to do them all at the end or do it now?
Either or. I mean, we can do it now, we have enough time between things. Thank you. We have 108 Spectacle Hill Road. Again, this is for certificate of compliance, and you had a chance to go out and take a look? And
Yes, I went out yesterday and everything is great.
Beautiful. I'd like to make a motion that we issue the certificate of compliance for 108 Spectacle Hill Road.
A second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
What happened?
Nope, just checking it.
Oh.
You're fine.
Two of the same pages. Ah.
Make sure I had the right project, which I know
Yes.
you did there. I always like to double check.
Oh, of course.
It's the
That
same
one
one
had-
under the bylaw and under
Yeah, that
the
one had
mass.
two of them.
Oh, two sections.
Right, one's the state, one's the town, is that it?
Yeah, from now on we'll do one altogether.
Either,
Which is what most towns do.
So both of those certificates were 2-year processes that you saw. Just since we have a little bit of time.
Well,
we just talk a
3-year,
little bit about them. Might be a little time for education
can't hurt.
for me and anybody else who cares.
So Spectacle was done in 2012,
Yeah.
so that was 3 years, and they got in right at the end of their 3 years. And the other one was 3 years too. Took 3 years to do the project.
So what we did at the end.
So-
for either one.
Thanks, Lord. Good, and it's perfect.
The next one's an extension of the certificate.
Yep. So we don't have any, there was no official announcement?
No, there's
Okay,
not,
yep.
no, they're not, no.
Okay.
No.
So now, then we will open, well,
It's not a hearing.
it's not even a hearing,
No.
right? We just need to discuss actually doing it?
Yes.
Okay. Do you,
Order to issue an
Yep.
extension.
do you have the original order?
Yes. This is a project that was never started,
Yep.
and they are ready to start it now.
When was it issued?
This, so this is. This is the notice of intent. So that was started in about the same time.
That was the issuance, 2012.
Yeah, that was 2012. And because of some personal reasons, they did not start the project at that time, and they're asking for an extension of the order of conditions for another 3 years.
Has anything changed?
The applicant's here, no,
Okay.
nothing's
Yep,
changed.
yep. As far as like stormwater does not affect, no, it's a
No,
single family,
no.
right?
No, what they're doing is putting geothermal in there.
Yeah, that's, I remember reading up on that.
Yeah, and there's no alteration of anything, it goes right in under the house.
Yep.
Should we have you-
Yeah, if you wanna come up, right?
Yeah.
Hi, John DeGrano,
Hey.
212 Berlin Road. Nice to meet you guys. Nice to meet you. Yeah, this is an extension of a project that we haven't had, you know, we got all the necessary things, but when it was
Right.
time to go with the, you know, the personal reasons. I'm not sure now, it's like that simple, everybody knows. So now I'm back in the house and I'm ready to start the project. Excited to start it because I had researched geothermal and I think it's pretty interesting stuff. So in this case, I plan on putting a horizontal geothermal system in, which means we have to dig down below 4 feet, the frost line.
Yeah.
So instead of putting vertical in, which is drill marks all over the place, we're gonna do a horizontal. So it's pretty exciting to see. And then later on, I wanna tie in the solar onto the house, so therefore I'm away from all types of oil. So hopefully I can get enough panels on the roof to take care of the costs of the geothermals. Whether it works out money-wise, I don't know, you know, it's still out there, probably break even, if I break even, I'll be happy. It's one of those things. Right.
Nice.
Will it cover all the heating for your house or partial?
I don't think it'll
Partial
cover
on all of it.
everything, but it should cover
Percentage.
Yeah.
Year by year is learning process, I guess?
Yeah, it'll be a learning process to see how it comes out, so. I'll never truly know unless I do it, so.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I think it works, I did a lot of research on it
Yeah.
to see it. So, I'm pretty excited about it.
This is the original other one. Are there any special conditions, order conditions?
I don't think there's anything, just restore any area afterwards. I'm just looking for anything, there's
Let's
nothing.
see, yeah.
Well, it used to be all grass back there.
Yeah.
Now it's,
So the
if you
pictures-
saw some of the pictures,
Yeah.
it's all it's all overgrown now.
Yeah, the gold
Those are nice
band
pictures.
and everything.
You'll get it.
Yeah.
Like that, after it's done, we'll do it topsoil
Yeah, make it.
and take care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Actually, the topsoil is now sitting in the topsoil is the
The mound here.
Yeah,
that was the
it looks
original
like it's even
topsoil.
worse
Yeah.
with overgrown, but it's just because it's, you know,
Yeah,
It was piled
it's
there.
been sitting
Yeah.
there.
it looks better in the wintertime.
Yeah.
The weeds will be gone. so.
Yeah, you can see original orders on there.
Had you gone out to take a look at,
I had this predates me.
mhm.
Yeah, when this original, that's why I was curious as to see what, if we knew what the orders were that they were looking, if there were any special conditions. It seemed like there really didn't be much.
There's
Yeah,
no
as far
special
as-
conditions,
Yeah.
it's all grassed area, it's all, I
Yeah,
was
sure.
out there, it's all lawn, it's all grassed area that
Mhm.
surrounds the house.
And it's a closed system, correct? I'm not,
Closed loop system?
closed
Yeah.
loop system,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and the stuff that's in the piping right now, it is non-toxic and, you know, it's okay, for the environment.
It's all water.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's just the one.
Mhm.
Give you a chance to look through it, see if they have any other questions
Yep.
coming up,
That's good.
yeah.
It's actually a slinky effect on how the tubes like intertwine with each other, and it's like a slinky, but it's laid down, so if you take a slinky and you lay it down flat, so you could fit more coils in.
Yeah, they'll self-heat each other.
Huh?
They'll self-heat each other too.
Yes, that's what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Makes sense. A lot of surface area.
A lot of surface area.
Right.
They're now sitting inside that building right now. I had them in storage and I moved them to there, so it's taken up a good portion. They're light, but, you know, but they're still good to lose. Yeah, it
Mhm.
takes some space.
So it must be plastic, is it?
Plastic, yeah.
Thank you.
Had any questions? I don't know.
As long as nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Physically on the site.
Yeah,
That- Since then.
nothing should have changed in our bylaws since 12 either. so that I could make a motion that we extend the current order of conditions for 212 Berlin Road, for an additional 3 years, in general. Do I hear a second?
I second.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. So extended.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you, Michelle, for finding my paperwork. Because I'm not too organized.
You can pick that up tomorrow morning if
Tomorrow
you like.
morning. Oh, okay, great. Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck. Yep, thanks.
Almost 7:20.
We have a little bit of money. We have a COC for powder and
Sure.
COC for deer panic.
Just knock one of those off now. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay, so, we got 43 Powder Hill Road, certificate of compliance. You had a chance to go there, Michelle? Everything
Yes, I
looked
did.
fine
Yep.
and dandy? All right.
I
I'd like to make a motion that we.
Could I hear a
Go
little
ahead.
bit more?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I feel like I need to hear more, and I think we've just,
Couldn't hurt.
yeah. What you saw and what it was, and
So this was a, area that had to be, they put in a pool and, they had to plant, it wasn't even a replication, cause they didn't alter anything, except, a little bit of buffer zone. But they had to do extensive $10,000 worth of planting. And they did, and it looks, you know, it looks beautiful, and so, that's what that is.
it's done, all set.
This was their second year in,
Third year.
third year.
Yeah.
So these pictures are
Yeah, these are the current pictures?
This was last summer, yeah.
And everything's still healthy.
Yes, everything is still very healthy. I did a site visit, that was one of my first site visits. Actually, it was probably my third, but, yeah.
First week.
And, that was the only thing that they were waiting for was replication, yeah.
I'd like to make a motion that we issue the certificate of compliance for 43 Powder Hill Road.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, now we can do Harvard Road. Okay. Now the Bolton Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Bolton Wetland Bylaw, Chapter 233, tonight, Tuesday, October 20th, here in the Houghton Building, to consider a notice of intent of a proposed shared driveway for 2 single-family houses off Harvard Road, map 5C, parcels 176 and 177.
Evening.
Good evening.
Brendan Ducharme, Ducharme Dillis, here with Matt Jackson.
How are you?
Owner. So this is a project that we've been working on with Matt for a few years. And this is off Harvard Road, 117's down here, as you're heading towards Harvard. This is about to the top of the hill, for those that are familiar with it. And this was a 4-lot subdivision that we've done. And basically, what we filed a notice of intent to construct the driveway to get along, across the wetland area. So, these 4 lots, we filed an A&R plan with the planning board a few years ago, as well as special permit backland lots. The 2 lots that we're talking about tonight are kind of shown here in purple, come along with frontage here, and then there was 2 other lots which have since been built on in the last few years. And basically, there is an intermittent stream that runs through the property like this and then continues along with an associated bordering vegetated wetland, and obviously it's got buffer zone on either side. The entire site is mapped, or most of the site is mapped, as habitat with endangered species. So one of the big parts of the filing was we filed with National Heritage Endangered Species a few years back, and we worked with them. There's basically, they were looking at two things. There's a much more significant wetland system out in the back here. There's a vernal pool, and that was one of the potential breeding areas, I think, with salamander that they were concerned of. So what they wanted us to do is basically push the development as close up to this wetland system as we could. And the area that we're showing here in yellow is basically a conservation restriction, or it's actually a declaration of restriction, which is a conservation easement that Matt ended up doing and putting on the property, basically to mitigate for these two houses here in the back. And essentially, we've kind of whittled it down to, you know, two small areas here to put two houses, on-site septics and private wells. Both of those are, that's all outside of the buffer zone. The driveway that kind of comes through here is what goes to the resource area. So as we look at this, again, this is Harvard Road here. There's a bit of a hill here, so we kind of cut through, and we've got a shared driveway that continues down this neck here. We cross the wetland. This is the BVW. This is the intermittent stream, and then it goes up to access both house lots here. The orange designates the limit of the adjacent upland resource area. We basically designed this driveway similar to many others that we've done in town, and we designed it to essentially reduce the amount of alteration to the most possible. We did that by using, essentially, we've got two retaining walls on either side of the driveway. The intermittent stream here, if you go out and look at the site, it almost looks like an excavated trench that was kind of dug through here. What we're proposing is it's a bridge structure. It's a metal arch, so we're spanning the entire intermittent stream, so we don't disturb stream bed or bank or anything like that. And then the retaining walls continue out. This does not, where it's just two lots, it does not trigger stormwater management policy. So unlike the last one we did on Long Hill Road, where we ended up with those large basins, essentially what we're showing here is we're having two sediment forebays here to polish the water prior to releasing it back into the wetland. We've also provided a wetland replication area along the existing wetland here, which you can see in this detail here. We've got some red maple, high bush blueberry, spice bush, sweet pepper bush, and cinnamon fern, which, you know, replicates what's out there.
How many square feet is that?
What's that?
How many square feet?
The replication area is about 2,700 square
27,
feet.
okay,
We've also shown some plantings on the back sides of the sediment basins here, just doing some shrub plantings, as well as some trees kind of along the edge of the driveway.
What's this here?
It's a sediment basin.
Oh,
So
just said-
there's-
okay.
Basically, what we're doing is we're elevating the driveway to sheet the runoff into this swale. Where it's steeper, we've got riprap in the swale. This is
Mhm.
outside the buffer. The swale comes down, and then this is essentially like a little drainage basin,
Mhm.
you know, which is essentially only sized to remove any sediment, and then it kind of overtops and goes into the wetland now. And same thing on this side.
So when you plow this driveway, where does all the snow go?
Well, they basically, you know, they'll plow straight up through,
Mhm.
you know, kind of when they get to this point here, you know, they'll probably
Yeah, I'm still
pile up
at the
some.
end of it, yeah.
I remember one of the projects we were talking about, what happens, this is a very long driveway.
Yeah, so, I mean, really, there's nowhere to kind of turn off, especially as you get into the wetlands here.
Mhm.
There's gonna be guardrail on each side, which will kind of get you through there. The guardrail will essentially kind of prevent you from kind of pushing it.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
utilities are kind of coming up, you know, right through the driveway.
Brandon, do you have an elevation of the bridge? Yeah, how much water is passing underneath it? And
Yeah, so-
How big is this arch, and how high off the top of the water is the bottom of the bridge?
Yeah, so basically, that's a good question, because this arch was sized, and it's detailed here, but it was sized based upon the stream crossing standards, which is 1.5 times what the existing is. So these are those new standards that basically kind of oversize this so that there's 5 feet. Things can, you know, pass, even in dry conditions, you worry about wildlife and those sorts of things.
So there's no culvert or anything?
No, so, yeah, unlike the last one, this one is a true bridge, it's gonna span it.
So what prevents this from getting, if I'm understanding properly, clogged up?
Well,
If water's coming underneath it, I'm trying to understand what I'm looking at.
yeah, so essentially, there's banks that are there, it's that trench.
So it just comes up.
This goes well beyond it, and then again, it's oversized over it, so there shouldn't be any issue, we're not
There's nothing
making it
to-
any, yeah, there's basically
Okay.
more than enough clearance as well as, you know, dry land passage on each side of the existing
It's a
street
bridge,
now.
it's a true bridge.
Yeah,
So how will that arch be?
looks like it's 5 feet, yeah, so it's a good sized structure.
And this guardrail is on top of what's here, it's just not shown, so you're even,
Yeah, so the guardrail,
so it would sort of be impossible to push snow off of this bridge.
yeah, so the guardrail's on both sides, and then there's gonna be a block retaining wall on the other side of the guardrail. This guardrail goes all along.
Does the block actually, does it almost act as a curb? Does it come over, or is it just is it flush with it?
We usually raise it up a little bit, yeah.
And where is the replication area going?
Right
Oh,
here.
right there,
Yeah.
okay.
Other questions, or, okay, go ahead.
Can I see
Yep.
that? I'm just wondering what's on, since, just when I look at it again, big picture.
Big picture.
Focus, okay.
So there's about 3.5 acres of upland that we're
Yeah.
looking to access with the crossing.
So
This
it's
is that
200.
stream channel there. This is like a 5.4 acre lot, and this is about a 4.5
Mhm.
acre lot. So all the language that's in this deed restriction, basically can't cut trees, no structures.
Mhm.
It locks it down essentially the same as a conservation restriction.
Mhm.
What's the total acreage?
10 acres.
Yeah.
Is there anybody here tonight that had questions about this project?
Which project is it?
This is on Harvard Road. Be possible to set up a site visit and get out there and take a look. Weeknights have tended to work. I know it's getting dark early.
Yeah, it's getting dark.
Does 5:30 some night work?
Yeah.
Is there a night next week?
Tuesday night?
Tuesday night next week? Would that
That would be,
Yeah.
work?
Yeah.
sounds good.
It's our off night.
Okay, shoot for Tuesday night next week to get a site visit out to Harvard Road
Yeah.
at 5:30?
Mhm.
All right.
Is this path currently cleared, Brandon, or is it still woodland? What's existing now in this driveway?
Basically, all in the back is woodland, but there is an existing crossing, you know, there's a path that kind of heads down through there.
Okay. so it's defined, it wouldn't need to be flagged or taped to show us where it would be.
No, there's a
Pretty
stone
defined.
wall
There's
that kind of
references.
runs right along here, and there's a couple survey points, so yeah, I'll be able to show you exactly where it goes.
Thank you.
So it's between what two numbers on Harvard?
I can get you that
Yeah.
information too.
This is 103, this is 109,
Okay.
and then I'm,
125, I think it is.
yeah, the original is 125, I don't know how they remember these.
So it's to start, yeah.
All right.
See that?
So you're continuing it?
Yeah, and we'll continue to our next meeting. Give us enough time,
On
which
November
is-
3rd.
All right. Yeah, so continue to our November 3rd, 2015 meeting, 7 p.m. 7:05.
Yep.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
guys.
This thing here.
That was actually there. Sorry, just making sure I had that on my calendar before I forget. All right, next up, we have Still River Road. Tonight, the Bolton Conservation Commission will now hold a public hearing under provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, and under Bolton Wet Law Bylaw, Chapter 233, here in the Holt Building, to discuss a notice of intent for a single-family houses to be built off Still River Road, map 8B, parcel 30, within 100 feet of bordering vegetated wetlands.
All right, so this is, this lot's along Still River Road, this is a new lot. This is a 6.7 acre lot, as well as there's another parcel here in Harvard that's about 2.5 acres. This is Vaughan Hill Road that comes down, ties into Still River, and this is the Bolton Harvard line as you're heading towards Harvard. This goes back to 117. This kind of shows that there's a wetland on this side, and there's a wetland on this side, and this is a perennial stream that kind of wraps around and then goes under Still River Road and then goes into Bolton Flats. And what we have here is basically, this is that existing field that we were looking at. This is Still River Road, and essentially what we're looking to do is develop this with a single-family house lot. We did some soil testing in here. This is basically the place that we found suitable soils for an on-site septic. This has been designed and laid out with a 5-bedroom septic. And then we're showing a 5-bedroom home with a driveway that goes to Still River Road, and there's a well here in the back. This blue line here designates the limit of the bordering vegetated wetland, and the orange is the corresponding 100-foot buffer zone adjacent upland resource area. This is that perennial stream that goes through in the back, and this is the limit of the 200-foot riverfront area. And what we're looking at is we're trying to kind of pull the house up, as far away from the riverfront area now. This is essentially the limit of the existing wood line. And as part of this development, what we're looking to do is take the riverfront area in this area and kind of demarc that and use that as an area that basically won't be yard. We'll basically can revegetate. There's certainly no suggestions, but what we'd like to do is see this maintained as a meadow. It can be mowed annually at the end of the year. Usually we do after like November 14th, once the birds are done nesting in there. This is equal to about 32,000 square feet. At the closest point here, we're just along like the 25-foot offset, which is that dotted line with the driveway there. This is not located in habitat. Oh no, this is also in habitat. We filed with Natural Heritage, and obviously we haven't heard back from them yet.
What's that?
You need to go look at that one.
Yes, no, we definitely do. I'm just curious, with the size, was there any thought to a smaller house? Going 4-bedroom just because it is, right, everything's in the buffer. And
Yeah.
it comes out.
So, based on, the size of the lot and kind of what they're looking to do, and this is obviously the design
And you were saying that you wanna maintain this as a meadow, but replant it somehow?
No, I mean, essentially, you know, it's an agricultural field.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
if you kind of just limit it to being mowed once after November, you know, it kind of take over the meadow, but as opposed to just letting it go, which, you know, who knows what'll kind of get scrubby in there, so,
But there's no other reason to touch it,
no.
because it's within the,
Yeah, I mean, a portion of that is, you know, within the inner 100, but, you know, basically we'll even
Yeah, that's the
keep the entire 200 out, yeah.
and this is the woodland edge current?
This is,
Or that's what you'd like to
yeah,
maintain?
the wood line is basically, the only part that we're looking to come in is right here. The rest,
So
the rest of
removing
this,
this?
this is existing. And
Okay.
you can see the lighter line right
Yeah,
here.
I see it.
That's the wood line there.
So
Everything-
that's the existing and this is the proposed.
Correct,
So
yeah,
you wanna remove, well, you have to remove all of this to put the house in.
correct. And again, you know, if we had it farther back, we wouldn't have to remove any trees. But, you know, we're really trying to get it as far from the riverfront as we can.
And then this is the septic
Yeah,
front. Does that go down? No, that goes up.
yeah,
To
I mean, this is
about-
kind of a high point here, and it goes down on either side, and then it gradually slopes back, as the lot goes back. It is gonna be a raised system based on the groundwater, so this'll have a septic tank and a pump chamber that'll pump up to the septic.
So could you just talk a little bit about the contour? Because I see the existing and I see some proposed, but if you could just visually walk us through it.
Yeah, so you can see, this is kind of a high point right here. And then you can sort of see how the contours go like this. It's
Mhm.
basically falling away, and obviously, these two low points are the wetland, which is, you know, a
Mhm.
bog. And it's about the same elevation approximately
sides.
on either side. So this is kind of a ridge that kind of comes through the middle of the field, and then it,
Okay.
you know, crowns down to the wetland.
So that's a 232.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in all this, we're looking to leave. The only reason why, these are proposed topo lines here, which are coming up for the raised
Right.
system.
These topo lines aren't connecting. Oh, okay, when I see it
So,
now,
yeah,
okay,
so it's just
I got
tying
it,
it in.
okay, got it. Just
Yeah.
tying
The
it.
driveway's
Okay.
basically just falling along the existing grade, and really, we're just trying to get the house up because of the groundwater again, so, you know, bringing up the elevation around the house.
That's the finished floor.
Finished floor is 235.
So it's 3 feet. Sloping
Yeah,
down.
it drops down to like, I mean, that's 232 existing. It goes back up.
And this is proposed garage entrance from this side?
Yeah, side load garage.
So, okay, finished basement, right, there's, or in addition to basement?
Yeah, I mean, this side load garage comes in about, I mean, we're showing it, I mean, this isn't a finished house plan, but a couple feet lower than the top of foundation.
Okay.
So it's not like a true, drive-under garage.
Okay.
So the basement would probably just be on this side. This would just be a slab.
And this is, initially, it's all on lot 1B? Or you're combining lots, like, could you flip back,
Yeah.
Brandon, just so it's
Yeah.
clear in my mind where the house is located on the larger plan?
So this is the field. This is kind of where the house is, right here in the middle. And this is the stream here. And basically, this is kind of where that line is in the back, that the driveway comes in right along here, and the septic's right here.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody here tonight in the audience for questions on Still River Road?
Yeah, I have a couple.
Yeah, I know, please, if you want to come up too.
Well, one is I wondered if, I've looked at some FEMA maps, and
Yeah.
this is the area,
To state his name.
and I'm not sure whether it is
Okay.
the,
Sir, can we have your name for the record?
oh, my name is Barry Levin, I'm in a butter, I live at 295 on the road.
Okay.
We're pretty familiar with this territory because a previous owner allowed us to have our horses graze on the meadows. So it occasionally gets a fair amount of water, at least so I was wondering about the flooding. This is I guess the house would be in the blue dots are more likely to flood than the black dots. And, and I'm not sure whether the house is in the blue dot area or the black dot area.
This is 110.
Yeah, it looks like the house would go in about there, so
Kind
it's
of straddling.
maybe the black, yeah, it kinda hits where it matches up with it.
And also, I was wondering how far the water table, how close is the water table to where the house would be?
So, yeah, the water table's down, I think it's probably only like 30 inches, which is what we're talking about, why the septic system's raised up in order to
Okay,
get.
is it gonna have a basement or? Did
Um,
you say a slab?
Well, the garage is gonna be a slab, the house will have a basement, which is again why we're raising the house up, sorry,
Okay, so
to
this-
get outside of
So
it.
it was my other questions is how far up did you have to raise the land around where the house is going to be?
So it's gonna be coming up a few feet,
A few feet.
yeah, so probably 3 feet.
Is it possible to put this data on the next version of these maps?
Sure,
again?
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we're tied into that, the data for that reason, so yeah.
So I didn't get any of this info. Usually I look up Mass GIS and I look at all the information, but I didn't have any.
Yeah, we provided that too, yeah.
Um, Did you give that to Michelle?
Yeah, that should be
Okay.
the notice of intent. We basically run through all the maps, floodplain, ACECs, which is across the Still River, natural heritage, which you can kind of see what's in that map there, and then USGS, which shows the perennial stream.
So, there's this stream, and isn't there also a stream that crosses through here? But it's at least not right now, because it's been very dry.
Yeah, there's a wetland area that kind of comes through here, yeah.
But this is, the house doesn't come close to this area, so this will be untouched, so that the water, any overflow here can get to this stream.
Correct, yeah.
Do we know if the
Oh,
house is in
yeah.
the 100-year floodplain? Or we don't know?
Go out.
Well, it should be outside, but I'll obviously plot that up on the plan.
That information's also on the sheet we provided.
Well, this,
Yeah,
well,
it's not accurate.
it's not,
It's not,
So what they do is they provide an elevation, yeah, which
yeah.
we tied into that datum,
mm-hmm.
because I think there's a benchmark right down on this crossing here. So we can represent that on the topo.
Okay.
That's it there.
Is there any other questions?
Yeah, I don't, you didn't ask. I'm not sure what questions you.
Oh, I asked
No, that's
about
it.
the floodplain and,
So
Uh,
we're,
how high
Marcy
the
Silver,
house is
and
in.
my husband Keith, we live right across the street on Still River Road. So our property abuts the Still River and we get huge flooding. And the flooding, I mean, comes up higher, like 6 feet higher. We've been able to canoe over our 5-foot horse fence. It's unbelievable. And it comes around our barn and it'll.
Is your property on this map?
Um,
Can you see it?
is this here? No.
No,
No,
across
actually,
the other.
across the street.
Yeah, we're across the street.
We're about right there.
Do you have the other map? Keith?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're set back, so this is your driveway here?
So we are,
Yes, it's a common driveway.
Yeah, so you're back.
Yeah. We actually, our back property line is actually in this middle of the Still River.
Oh, so you abut,
If you look here, that's our
Conservation.
riding ring. So that's kind of that triangle slab is our property, and then we're up on a little knoll here because I'm often fighting the insurance company because I think I'm in a 100-year floodplain, so I had to hire a surveyor to, plot out my house and
the
everything.
barn is though, I mean, the barn, so we've been lucky, because we have horses that, because it comes around, there's a stream that was built, and it goes,
That's the river, I think the stream goes behind
the barn, and it'll flood all the way up to the backfield and up to, we've had it just a couple feet from the barn. and then it comes and it'll flood our front field, where's our front field?
Right there.
Yeah, so it'll come up way high up in our front field, and we've been lucky that the barn, knock on wood, all these years, we've just a couple feet, we haven't been able to turn the horses out for a couple days. But then it feeds across the street and goes, I don't know. Feeds across the street, underneath the street, to the new property that he's gonna build on. So I just wanna make sure that that canal and that land where it's able to flood to is not gonna be filled in or touched. So that way, cause we get flooded enough as it is, so if that water has nowhere to go, we're gonna be in really big trouble.
So this is actually, like, most of Bolton is just approximate, which it gets a little bit more difficult to figure out if you're in or you're out. This area, because it is Still River, you can see kind of where they are. This is like the velocity zone, because you're right off on Still River right here. All this area's been mapped with elevation, which is this 229. And all of our development, everything is higher than 229 elevation. If we were to get below that, which we haven't, obviously, to meet the regulations, we would have to do compensatory flood calculations, which, what they're saying, so that way we're not eating up flood storage by filling in it, which would cause, downstream effects.
Yeah, I guess that's what my wife is trying to say. We're concerned any regrading here doesn't redirect any of the water under the road there and onto our property. And the other comment I have is, the last 2 years, beavers have dammed up the Still River. So
It's
right
a
now,
nightmare. It's a nightmare.
right now it's at flood stage, and often this time of year, we could literally walk across the river without getting our feet wet.
And that was
Years
gonna
past,
be, that was
but
gonna
now
be my
it's
comment on this, is much of this watershed, because we've done work kind of all along there, because of the beavers, it has gone beyond.
We used to be able to go to Bud's and to Harvard, through the back of the property, all the conservation land. We could go to the flats right off of our property. Now that bridge is all damaged. The beavers, literally, it's already right now, like, even we've had a dry period, it's
At
like,
flood stage,
it's at
already.
flood, it's like inches from just flooding our whole fields.
So I guess the point being there is, when this was probably drawn up, I can tell by the fact that the pumpkin field that Bud Evans had is plowed in this picture. I would say things have gotten quite a bit worse since this photograph was
Yeah,
taken.
Bud hasn't done anything for 5 or 6 years in those fields. These fields are all trees and grass now.
And
So,
swamp.
This is all within the mapped,
Yeah.
below the
Yeah.
229 contour. And again, this culvert that kind of separates the two sides, if this was to flood and back up, essentially it would have to come over Still River Road. We've been working, we did the initial subdivision here probably 10+ years ago. And we did the original wetland delineation, and then when we came back out, we just did another one. So even over the last 10 years, there was no change in the wetland elevation in that time.
So are you not planning to fill in any of that area?
Correct.
Okay.
It looks like they would have to build up a septic in the front to raise it above the water table.
That was the idea
Yeah.
of the mound coming up?
Yeah, well,
To
we're talking
avoid-
about two different things. The mound is for a groundwater elevation. This is flooding for surface waters. Essentially, it's the 100-year storm event. So what they do is they do a bunch of modeling, that's what they determine what that flood elevation is. So it's not driven by groundwater as much as the floodwaters. And what they determine is in this area, it's that 229 contour. So all of the work we've proposed is above that. So if we were to go into that 229, that's where we would have to do, flood calculations.
Brian would have thought we'd go out and take a look at this site.
Yeah, no, I think we're definitely gonna wanna go out and take a look too. I just wanna see, is there anybody else here to talk?
Hey, but I
Just
guess,
one more quick about
I'm
this.
sorry, Keith?
and the reason that I brought that up, and nice to see you, by the way.
Yeah.
Is you're more than welcome to.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me
come out
know
during
and
the
I'll-
site visit,
yeah.
we can let you know what time we'll all be out there with the
Mhm.
plan, and, we'd be happy to have you join us to take a look at what's being proposed and make sure that, any questions or concerns that you have are.
We'll set the time
Far
today.
addressed.
We'll set the time soon here.
Okay.
We certainly don't want to be in the floodplain any more than you don't want us in the floodplain, obviously. So-
Well, it's just, it.
Well, I don't really
Yeah,
care
yeah,
if
yeah.
your new
Yeah.
house floods, I just don't want it,
Yeah.
going over to mine.
Well, I care for yours.
a question about the 229 feet elevation.
Yes.
How recent was that set? Have things changed? Did we- I think we
We've
had
gone
a-
through Bolton pretty recently.
It seems like we had our 100-year
Be on the
flood very
flood map.
recently, and I'm not sure it's gonna take another 100 years.
What it is, and if you follow a lot of that, is we,
4 years ago.
we've been getting the 100-year flood event far more often than they have, you know.
Yeah.
And also, when you look at a flood, a 100-year flood, you know, what it's looking at is one particular storm. So several times, you could get a 25-year flood, and then 3 days later, you could get a 50-year storm event. And, you know, the effect of that could be in excess of a 100-year flood. But for the point of us filing and looking at this, I mean, that's basically the standard, especially in an area like this where they've done a flood study. So, and I can provide you what the date on that map is to see when we were out there doing the study.
I just wondered how up to date it was. whether-
Oh, it's July 4th, 2011. So, like a lot of this, they recently just went through. 'Cause before that, it was the 80s.
Brendan, would it be possible to have the FEMA flood data overlaid on this map?
Absolutely, yeah.
For the site visit?
Yep.
Why don't we try to set up a site visit if possible? Does another night next week work? I mean, I try to do it on Tuesday, I just wonder if we'll just run out of light.
We will, because by
Yeah.
six,
It
it's
gets
already
bad.
against you.
And it's cloudy, it's even earlier.
Could we try 5:30 another night?
Yeah.
So that works. Thursday
Thursday
would work?
Sure.
Thursday, so next Thursday, we're thinking at 5:30?
Is that
To
good?
go out there, take a little site walk?
Next week, Thursday?
Next week, Thursday, yeah, so I guess it would be the 29th?
Yeah.
I'll try to get out there at 5:30. In that case, we will continue the public hearing for map 8B parcel 30 for Still River Road to our next meeting, Tuesday, November 3rd, 2015. At a time to be determined. Thank you. Do you agree, Road 2?
Yeah.
Case. Okay. The Bolton Conservation Commission will now open and hold a public hearing under the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, and under the Bolton Wetland Bylaw, Chapter 233, to consider a notice of intent filed by John and Jennifer Gogol, 91 Green Road, for proposed addition and deck.
Brandon Ducharme, Ducharme-Dillis. Yep, sure, yeah.
Hi. Hi, how are
Nice to
you?
meet you. Yeah.
Nice to meet yourself.
So this is 91 Green Road. If you come from Neshoba, the road comes down, and then Sampson is your next right here. That's an existing single-family house. The driveway comes off here. As driven by, this is the fire pond here, which has a perennial stream which comes off and flows in this direction. And this is a bordering vegetated wetland, most of which is forested wetland here. The existing driveway, the existing house. The orange designates the limit of the 100-foot buffer zone adjacent upland resource area, and this is the 200-foot riverfront. The project is pretty minor, and essentially what they're looking to do is just kind of square off the back here with a proposed addition, which is 16 feet by 8 feet. This is a drive-under garage, so that'll kind of be tied into, at the basement level with an access door, and then essentially just extends the kitchen kind of this way in the back, and it carries through the second story. And then this is a new deck here on the back. All of this is within an existing, is a retaining wall here. This is a fenced-in pool area. So all the work's kind of contained inside a fenced-in area on the other side of the driveway. The existing walk kind of extends here, so we're really just kind of looking to just relocate the walk to get around the new deck. And this kind of comes up to a second level deck there. So really, as you look at it, there's no foreseeable net impact on the resource area, but it is located within the areas which constitutes the bylaw.
It's too small for replication.
Well,
Put
is
in
there,
a new garden somewhere.
is there any net impact to impervious
I mean, it's a,
material, or we're all with, this is an
it's a
existing?
16 by 8,
existing
yeah, so,
deck.
and then there's existing, you could probably describe it better than me, but I mean, there's some patio here that kind of goes with the pool and the walkway, so, yeah, really, there's hardly any.
Straightforward.
It's really dead space right now because of the pool, so the pool filter and like all the machines are there, so we're just pushing that out a little bit and pushing that to make it even with the dining area.
It's really kind of driving it.
I mean, it's existing patio stone, is that,
It is.
is that what it is now?
Yeah,
I mean, really, if it wasn't the riverfront, you can just do an RDA or something, yeah.
Mm.
It probably behooves us to go out and take a look at it too. I mean, just for due diligence, we really should take another look, to get out there, but I can't see any big questions. If it's kinda as I'm picturing,
Mm. You don't happen to have a photo
I was
of-
just thinking that, I wish that I did,
Yeah.
because we just did this wall, so I know you said we're gonna move that, but if I'm not, I really don't wanna move this, because we just did that patio, and like this wall, the retaining wall, and the walkway last year, so I'm gonna ask not to move
Yeah,
it.
no, that's fine.
At all, so it's really like this space, it's essentially where we go in on the side right now to get into the garage, so that is flat there. This retaining wall goes all the way down here, and then the pool stuff
Yeah, you can kind of
is
see it
there.
on this plan here, there's
Yeah.
the wall, and stuff.
I just wanted to see if I can find it.
Doug Story's gonna be the one building this two-story, and do you know what his schedule is of when they're looking to start? Because that's the only reason why, yeah.
Within the next couple of weeks, because if we don't, do the foundation before the ground freezes, we'll have to wait until spring.
You don't
So-
have your DEP number anyway.
Correct, true, yeah.
Could we, is it lit, I imagine it's lit, you have the driveway here and
Yep.
is it well lit, so if we tagged it on to Tuesday's visit,
And we have big
Would take us
spotlights that we use when.
10
it's
minutes?
cool.
Good idea.
a few minutes
that's
for
really
Because
visit?
next to the house, it would be lit after sundown.
We can light it up. We're not actually, we're gonna be out of town, Tuesday, but I don't wanna push it. I mean, I can have my mom, I can have my mom come and do it,
No,
but
we can-
I don't wanna push it out anymore, just for the fear of if it goes past, if it goes too far into the season and the ground
Yeah.
freezes, then we have to wait a really long time.
So you would prefer us to just go to Tuesday without you there?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I can have my mom there with lights and.
Or everybody could take a look on by themselves too.
Yeah.
I
It
mean,
is
it's simple
accessible.
enough, it's simple enough that you could just take a
It is,
drive by.
yeah,
Are you home during the day?
no.
Okay.
But I'm only 15 minutes away, so I could
Yeah.
easily come during the day. But it is accessible, you can see it right from the driveway. You
Yeah.
can see the space, of where we're talking about. See who I took a picture.
Next meeting's November 3rd. Does that push it back too late?
No, actually, that was what Doug had told us,
Okay.
just to
So-
prepare for.
Yeah, yeah, to be ready.
So,
I'd like Michelle, so we can wait for the DEP number anyways.
That's,
It'll-
yeah.
I'm sure
it's-
it'll be out any
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
It's like crazy.
All right. Why don't we try that then? Does next Thursday work for you?
sure.
Do you wanna try to tack it on next Thursday?
Yeah.
So next Thursday, if we tried to stop by around 10 of 6,
Okay.
yeah, we have the 5:31 ahead of time.
29th.
Yeah, just to get a look. And then we can go ahead and continue it to our next meeting. We should probably
Okay.
have a quick answer then, I would imagine.
In general, what is it that you're looking for?
So sometimes usually it's the three is avoid, is there any way you can avoid the wetlands, which you really can't, you're kind of in, and then it would be, minimize, like, is there any way to make the project really smaller? Which, technically maybe we could do, but a lot of the area you're using, it's existing, I mean, it's not disturbing anything, so minimizing might not work, and then, the third would be mitigate, sometimes it'll require plantings or giving back part of the yard to let it naturalize, the part of the yard you might be taking over.
Sure.
Those are usually the three things that we're supposed to kind of check through mentally in these situations.
Okay.
But then sometimes depending upon the project, it is, because it's so cut and dry on an existing footprint that it's not worth asking you to do some of these things that might cause more harm than good.
Usually we look at mitigation also, like if there's some sort of a resource being lost, and that's kind of what we're saying here,
Yeah.
where, really, we don't see any net impact here, where it's existing, most of it's impervious, it's within the existing fenced-in yard, and then.
Yeah, it's really taken, but, so we'll go out and just kind of give a look and see if that is actually the case, which it really should be, and then we can usually move forward on that.
I don't have a great picture, but it's close. So that was last summer when we put the wall in. But it's, I know, I love it. So that's why I don't want them to touch it. But, it's the space that's here. So you see where the wall ends?
Yeah.
That's where the
Bring
end
it
of the
across
building
and square.
is. So,
the
yeah,
steps
this is what you're
these are the
seeing.
steps here, right?
The steps are here.
Walls here, steps from
This is, it's actually these steps that you're looking
Oh,
at.
Okay.
okay.
So the wall, this is the end of the house here. Where is it? This is,
the
this is.
wall?
Let's see.
Wall.
Yes,
steps, and
yep.
There's more wall here.
And then this is this building right there, this is the end of this right here.
So, yeah, the wall just comes up to the end of the house.
So see how this comes up, that's actually going to this space here where the pool equipment is.
And it's crushed stone, is that?
It is.
It is crushed stone.
Yeah, they had, before we put this wall, they had all those like old tire, things, I don't know, not tire, railroad tracks, that's
Oh,
what
yeah,
like those
yeah,
big
yeah,
brown
yeah.
things, that's what was there, and it actually cut into this area. So there was like a couple feet there that was this awful brown stuff. So we took that out, and then we moved the wall to be even with this edge there. So that's why, like, there's so much crushed stone, because it was there for most of it, but now it's just kind of dead space. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. All right. All right, so we'll come next Thursday, take a look, and then we'll, I don't really need to make much, we can continue the public hearing to our next meeting, November 3rd, 2015, at a time to be determined.
All right.
Yeah, thank you. We'll see you next Thursday, or we won't.
Okay,
Either way,
yeah.
we'll be out there.
That's fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, and we did Powder Hill.
So we have just Norton Road, I mean, Deer. And then Main, which is at 8:30.
Yep, we get 8:15 from North.
What time is it?
8:06, so can we talk quickly about 23 Deer Path?
Yeah.
No, we haven't,
Oh, right.
but we're, yeah, that information, we have people for it, we might. Or a person.
Same thing, the site was approved except for the plantings, and this is the area that was planting, and it looks 1,000 times better now. And it was raining the day I went out there, so I didn't. This is the plan of what they did. And what-
Plantings originally went
In 2013.
that must be it, right, and you're looking for final compliance now.
Yeah, they're
At
looking.
the second year, yeah.
Yeah.
of the planning.
It was written for 2 years?
Uh,
It's a smaller.
This is it's been 3 years. This was
Oh, okay, that
done in
was just a
two-
check.
this
Yeah,
is
that,
in
that's the initial
2012
plan, and
too.
they probably took the
Oh.
picture with the first year.
Yeah, this is
Two
a
sets.
3-year too.
That makes sense. What was the original, in-ground pool? Is that the original project, was a pool?
Yeah. I'm trying to find a notice.
Existing dwelling.
Oh, yeah.
It's a resource area. This is the buffer.
Yeah.
Buffer.
Could be terrace
Oh,
too.
here's a resource area, so this
Yeah.
is a resource area here.
Yeah.
This,
And
this
then
looks,
this is the
this is the
buffer.
stream, so there's the 200. So they kept
Yeah.
everything out of the 200,
Yeah,
but here's the buffer, they got parts of it, it looks like.
so
This
this
is the-
buffer, this is the wetland.
No, this is-
Oh, this is the wetland here,
Yep.
Yeah.
and this is the wetland buffer, but this is also a river, a stream, so it needs a 200, isn't it?
Right, I thought that's what this is this heavy dark
Oh,
line,
yeah,
is that the
that's the
200? That's the 200 from the stream, right?
Oh, it doesn't, it's not labeled.
This is 50. right?
This is the 100. They were in the 100,
Yeah,
so
but
this is the
orange
100.
is the 100 wetland.
Mhm.
No, that's
Buffer.
wetland. This is the 100 riparian zone. The 200's out here.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So they're in the 100.
So the whole thing is
Yeah. Yep.
in the resource.
Separate, yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And these were all the planting, these were existing, and they had to plant all in here and fill in here.
There's a lot of slope there, huh?
Yeah,
These
the
topo
terrace
lines
right
here,
down,
second floor, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
I mean, it's, you can almost see it, wow.
yeah,
That's
I mean, look, from three
Right here.
thirty-seven all the way to 373,
Look at the little
50 feet.
on the water here, you can just see how it goes down.
mm-hmm.
Here too.
You know,
Mm.
it's great sledding.
Oh,
So
so
yeah,
this,
this was before my time too.
Mm. see, 12,
And you did go this
Yeah.
way?
Mm-hmm.
and it's all set.
That's all set.
Oh, you wouldn't even know they did any work there. Everything's grown, it's lush, it's
Everything took.
really quite nice, yeah.
Now, in case, I'd like to make a motion that we issue a certificate of compliance for 23 Deer Path.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So certified.
No, take that with us, or-
Yeah.
right, just in
I
case.
went to
Yeah,
know
something
about this
to reference.
project.
Put it in the file.
I'm looking for it.
Good time. Did you get, you do have a copy of this, put in the file. That's their flood map?
Yeah,
Okay. So keep it in the file if you want to.
Main Street, 930.
Close. Close.
oh, here it is. Just a-
No, sort of.
Yeah. I got 8.
Oh, because.
811, yeah.
Because it's a one of conditions extension.
What time is four starting?
8:30.
8:30.
You know what, I didn't, here's a signature page that you can sign, but I didn't prepare that one.
Okay.
But if you wanna sign that.
COC.
Yeah, if you wanna sign that COC signature page, I don't know why, either that or I left it on my desk and it's not here. But, do we still have time? Cause these are ones that didn't get signed last week, some of them, and 2 of them had errors in them, so those are from last week that were supposed to be signed,
Yeah, we have 2 minutes.
but they were missed.
Continue. It's a COC.
What's it say? It's Deer Path.
It's, 'cause she's gonna finish it. She's gonna finish it.
It's a mystery one.
This one?
No.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's not.
Kidding.
Here's that second page coming back.
This is the one for Geopath.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, that is right. Getting ahead of myself.
Sorry. Check the order conditions for horse.
Yeah.
Then one's a re-extension.
Did it go through? By accident?
I don't think so.
Those were two that were the last name. Yeah, so let me just see. We'll have to sign it next time.
That's all right. Now, do they have the original order conditions though, that they're asking to extend?
Yeah. Somebody called me, for our rental, I left it on the desk. Yep, it's not here. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Alright, let me give you these back. We probably need to open that for the Four North Road one. Right? This is the Four North Road order conditions. They are right here,
Yeah.
property control.
Yep. Brandon, you're familiar with the Four North Road, right? Extension?
Oh, Dave James?
Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, what's the question?
Did you guys do that?
I
That-
don't know.
Yeah. What it is that he has a lot of land that he, got an order of conditions for, and the land hasn't been sold yet. He did it on speculation maybe, to get the permits done and then sell the land. But
Yeah, I
he-
mean.
but he hasn't
Something like-
but he hasn't sold
There
the-
was a number of lots there, yeah.
Huh?
There was a few lots there.
Yeah,
It run the market for a while.
Yeah.
You know, the economy.
and this lot
It's,
hasn't sold yet, and, so,
So it's looking to extend the existing order conditions.
yeah, looking to extend the order of
Do we know
conditions.
what the order conditions is for?
It's a crossing,
The crossing,
yeah.
assuming.
You know, we're gonna have to continue. we're
I was
have
gonna
to-
say, yeah, can I really gotta kinda read through it?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Alright,
So we'll just continue it.
in that case, yeah,
Till-
go ahead and continue the,
It's not even a hearing,
uh,
it's just an extension, so we'll continue it
the
until
extension request to
No-
Tuesday,
yeah.
November third, alright,
November third, yep.
2015. that's a good one to.
It's right on my desk, I know
Oh, yeah.
exactly where
Oh,
it is.
that's fine. But, even if you scan an email out electronically.
Yes, I
just
will.
read
Yeah.
through it.
Okay, yep,
Sure, it's fine.
yeah.
That's it, we just have 8 tonight, right? Except for we can approve the minutes, but just maybe read through them quick.
Oh, yeah, we didn't approve the minutes yet, right? I emailed them to everyone.
It's okay, just a typo.
What'd you say?
So they look okay, there's just one typo.
Okay, thanks.
Where's the typo?
It was, number 3.
Number 3?
Yeah, crushed pipe.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Thank you.
Everybody have a chance to look at the minutes? Alright, in that case, I would make a motion that we approve the minutes for the Conservation Commission meeting of October 13th, 2015 as submitted.
A second?
All those in favor? Aye. So accepted.
No hyphen in my name.
Okay.
No big deal. Don't take it personally. I love Mr. Clues, he's a nice person, I married him.
Is Luke your maiden name then?
Mm-hmm. Legacy. I tried to give it up, just
Stuck with it?
stuck with it.
Yeah.
It's like it's LLC.
Yeah, exactly.
Bit of other stuff. It's a good monogram. So it's new this week, anything fun happened?
No.
It should be pretty straightforward. We're gonna continue it,
Okay.
if that's all right.
What's that?
It's fine.
470.
Did we take a sidewalk out there already?
We did.
So, what I'll.
Oh, you, the planning board's right?
We filed this paper in parallel with the planning board.
Yep.
So we're still waiting for peer review on the drainage from the town engineer, as well as we gotta get to the planning board. So our council prefer to leave it open, just in case there's any changes, so we can
Makes
come back
sense.
and modify. So, we could take any questions at 8:30, but really, we're gonna continue it to at least get through the planning board process.
What time is it?
It's 8:21 or something.
Oh, yeah, hang on.
Cause that's, if we're gonna continue, we'll just do that, we'll wait till 8:30.
Okay, it's up to you, unless you guys have any questions you want me to answer tonight.
That's what I was gonna say, if you wanna come up, I don't know if anybody has anything outstanding.
It was all of yesterday.
Yeah, I know,
Any
I
good
know.
questions would have been there on site.
Yeah,
I'll be
so yeah, if you
interested
just
to
wanna
come back.
continue that, I don't know, it's the 3rd?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We go back to the planning board on the 28th of October, but are we still gonna receive comments? I don't see us doing much at that
We
meeting.
might be
so
rolling it
it's
over
gonna be
again.
in November, so if we
Yeah.
go to the 3rd, and then worst case, we'll push it
we'll
out
roll it
again.
again.
You know, what, I'll put you, okay, yeah.
That works.
I'll move it up a little, couple.
Yeah. put
I'll
the
move it
other
up
again.
too, so that,
Yeah, we can skip through it by yourself some time, yeah.
yeah, Yeah, you might wanna give me a call like before that Thursday, even that Wednesday and say, you know, go ahead and move it up, cause we haven't got
Sure.
Yeah, if we're gonna hold it.
especially when no one's here, you can move them up without, it's been such a while since it's been in the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put another hit too.
That's good.
Alright.
I don't know if any of you are good friends with the chief, police chief?
Bob, it's a good friends, but no, yeah.
Okay, well, he's retiring.
Yeah. Yeah, following that in the paper was an interesting one. It's a good one.
So
Yeah,
good.
Brandon will
Last
see.
town meeting. Answering questions. Remember that? You know,
He's-
asking about fingerprints and. it's good.
People were asking for questions?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
What were some of the
town
good ones? One about I saw a
Yeah,
show on
he's-
fingerprinting, that was really interesting.
Oh, it
It was a
just,
documentary.
every item was, you know, people were examining, you know, terms of cost and he got up there and he just really
Oh,
This is-
I
fingerprinting
gave him an A
machines.
for
Mm.
explanation, you know, it's just.
Yeah, I've seen him meetings in this room, packed, it's just calm, discussions.
Yeah, yeah.
They go after him once for advisory committee, so I'm talking to them, walk through his budget, he's fantastic. So we'll miss the chief,
Yeah.
it's too bad.
Town meeting is something to look forward to.
Yeah, it's usually a good time.
But since you've worked with different towns,
I go to
you
my
have-
own town meeting too.
Yeah, you'll have a lot to compare to.
I think they're all the same.
The
There's only
vocal-
always one person who can't give up the mic, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, always has a comment about everything.
Just one?
No, sometimes not, yeah, it's more than one.
Oh, your clock, still that works.
He almost believed you.
No. That's good. Have you been getting ready to us for our next few meetings? Well, anybody submitting anything for our next few meetings?
No, nothing,
Yeah, cause it's I mean, you start to get into the holiday area where
right,
nobody's proposing anything new.
yeah, no, the meeting, the third will just be everything that continued.
From tonight, yeah.
Because the hearing date's well closed, and, so, I mean, the submittal date, and, you know, certificate of compliance, that's what came in as of
Yeah,
yesterday,
that's
a
fine.
COC came in, you know, so I say, you know, get it in and
Yeah,
get it
that's
over with.
fine, if it's done, yeah.
Is there some way we could set up like a conservation, commissioner file, like would be on your desktop? And then any filings that you get, like all these documents, you could just put them in there, and then we'll all link in through Google Docs or
No,
something?
there's-
Because I'm feeling like if I don't have information,
Okay,
I can't
here's-
process, it's like right here. you
Here's
know.
what we can do, we can ask for electronic submittals
Yeah.
for everything, and I can just email them as they come,
Yeah,
or email them all together, whatever you prefer.
yeah, I think emailing them all together is helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I just, my process when I first started would take, actually I would spend time reading, and that's part of the learning and
Yeah.
understanding
Yes,
what,
I
you know.
agree, yeah.
And without it, I still feel like, I see something for the first time, I can't absorb it quickly
Mhm.
enough, and I feel like, I need to have those.
Oh, sure.
And I
I
know
know
you
when
have
you-
them, and I can stop by the
I don't know-
office and.
Yeah, I
just-
have them,
I
and
just-
that's when you asked me for that one.
Yeah.
I didn't have it electronically,
Yeah.
but I can make it mandatory that everybody send them in.
Yeah, I mean,
Electronically.
they did before, I mean, there's not that many filers.
Right,
So,
yeah.
I'm just wondering if,
Yeah.
There's a way
Did
we
you
can
always
do
get
that.
them on the, did you always get them by email
Always,
before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Bundle
like a
stuff
stack,
together.
like too much sometimes, but even still,
Yeah.
you know, you'd,
Better to have it, yeah.
you would know it ahead
Okay.
of time, yeah.
Yeah, you just have to keep on the people that do it, that's, you know, I'll
Yeah.
start doing that. Nobody said anything, so I figured nobody wanted to read them, you
Yeah.
know,
Mhm.
except if I brought them with,
Yeah.
so I'll do that, sure.
How many days ahead of a Tuesday meeting? Are you like available the Friday before
We'll see.
for review over the weekend, or is it something that would all come on Monday
it's
before the
like
Tuesday?
Thursday.
Well,
Well, no, they'll
Thursday.
get, you get them
Anthony.
way before that because, so there's a, if you look at those,
Submitted,
look at those
yeah.
sheets I gave you, those for the filing the filing dates. There's a, you see the filing submittal deadline date there?
So that's when it has to be certified.
So that's
Yeah.
when,
At least a week?
at least a week, more than a week, you know,
Right.
things have to be submitted because I have to do the hearing notice. So
Yeah, it has to
I can send them, you know, shortly after, you know, that submittal date to you.
Mhm.
If you want them all at once, I'd have to
Yeah.
wait until the end of the submittal date. A lot of people turn them in way before that, you know, and then a lot of people turn it right in on the day, so.
be. But no, that would work, I mean,
Yeah.
if you wait for the submittal date and then whatever we have, just send it along,
Yeah.
send a copy along. to people.
Sure,
Yeah, I mean, you have your own process, how you do things, and
yeah.
what we got before is only one other way to do it to compare to, but what we used to have was Thursday before the Tuesday meeting, you know, the agenda, yeah, the agenda with all of, you know, whatever paperwork, and sometimes, once in a while, there wasn't stuff, you know, backup paperwork, but, and that way it was like all weekend, and if you didn't get to it over the weekend, at least
Yeah,
on
but
Monday, or
Who wants to do that all weekend?
I
Yeah,
actually
sometimes,
would,
yeah,
I
there
would
were
pick,
times.
I would pick at it on a Sunday morning,
Mm.
instead of reading a newspaper, I would,
It's interesting
you know,
sometimes, yeah.
or, you
Mm.
know, Mondays, I
Mhm.
would look at it over the weekend,
Okay.
and some of them, it's part of the learning process.
Yeah,
So, you know, I think when you first start out, maybe you do read them over the weekend, and
yeah, right. I'd rather read them
when
New York
when
Times.
you're
I shouldn't have done it
more
on camera.
experienced,
I've
you
been known
might
to.
read them Tuesday morning, or
Well, I mean, I
hour
can send them to
before.
you before Thursday, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
I
And
know
then,
to read through with soccer
Earlier is
games on
better.
Saturday.
Yeah, earlier
well,
is
that I
better.
could
Kids' soccer
see,
games. Yeah, it works out really well.
yeah.
You read material and just remember to cheer.
That
So,
I
otherwise
could
I feel
see.
bad. I have it as officially 8:30.
Okay.
So we can reopen, we can continue the public hearing, or reopen the public hearing for, 470 Main Street, only to continue it to our next meeting, Tuesday, November 3rd, as they're waiting to hear back some more information, and it doesn't
Okay.
appear to have any public comment tonight. Anything else outstanding? Public comment? In that case, I would like to officially adjourn the the October 20th meeting of the Bolton Conservation Commission.
A second?
Thank you. All those in favor? Aye.
Wow. We're voting and closing.
Carries. Those back.
Yep. We need some of those.
You know, you always need those.